Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. As you're jumping in, let me know that you're on. We'll say hi to people from Wisconsin, Florida, and far beyond. But if you're not on, Lakeland, I want to know about it. I want to know why you're not on this morning. I gave you notice, didn't I? I gave you notice that today we're going to talk about something I saw in music. And, music maybe not your forte, but there's a lot of lessons there that are important that we can see play out in our own lives. And I was looking at that and listening to that and just taking in the moment of what's happening in the music. So I was listening to The Voice, round 3. We're a little bit behind in watching the particular rounds, but in these auditions, it's amazing how the coaches are trying to work together, but they're also separate because they have their own particular focus on building a team of people that they think are going to be the best. Morning, Lisa. Welcome. Welcome, Jack and Rita and Ginny. Oh, look at all these people starting to come in. I bet you they're hiding in the background. Say hi. Take a moment this morning to play into what's your favorite music piece, favorite team, or favorite ensemble. What group is the one that you like to listen to the most? We just had Tom Petty and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and the Traveling Wilburys. He just passed away this week. I used to listen to Tom a lot and several other groups, but of course, he sticks out the most because he was in the news recently. But there are things that we take away and we can learn from music. And we were watching Riverdance, because it was the next selection in the YouTube suggestions. And I've seen the video probably half dozen times. And I remember, that precision of Irish dance. And at first it's just, one person, then the next, and then pretty soon the whole ensemble. And it takes a lot of teamwork. And not everybody gets to be part of that team, right? Because they're not suited for that strength. They don't have that particular coordination. They don't have the particular focus to be able to execute the steps, or whatever else may be. They may be better suited somewhere else in the ensemble and the production. So one thing that sticks out to me, and I found this resonating in a book I'm just reading. It's Find Your Why by Simon Sinek. So you might have heard his Start with Why and Leaders Eat Last. And you may not even know that he had those books out there, but you had listen to his TED Talk because somebody said, "Oh, you got to listen to this guy. He's really good. He's really focused in. We really need to take something away from him." Well, Simon in his book says we can't all be good at everything. This is partly the logic behind having a team in the first place. So each role can be filled with a person best suited for that role, and together every job and every strength is covered. And I think it best represents, or you're able to see it the best in a concert. Not everybody can play the violin. Not everybody can sing. Not everybody can conduct, right? Everybody is put into a place where they tap into their skills and they can add to the whole group, to the symphony, to, it might be a quartet only. So Lisa says it's Friday, so I'll go with Happy by Pharrell Williams. Okay, cool. So what's your favorite group, though? Lisa, what's your favorite group? Pharrell has some backup singers and such, I'm sure, in those videos and in that production. But what's your favorite group? I'd like to hear that. Anybody else? Feel free to jump in, but what speaks to you? What are the things that speak to you that we can take away? Well, team. So there's a team effort, and everybody has a role. Everybody adds, and as you bring people together who are best suited for their particular role, and they're not covering everything in the group, you get a well-produced result. This is what we should be doing in our group, in our teams. Are people in your team just going through and, there might be 5 people that are all doing the same task, or 3. I know in some of my efforts in teams, we had 3 people all working on this same thing, but even in that, we had specialties. Some people would be doing the data polls, and others would be pulling it together into what's the latest information to update the report to get out a particular set of analyses. Or talking through, well, we're going to represent this strategy. We're going to talk about the strategy that we think the committee should go ahead with, that we recommend they implement. And boom, you're going to talk about this. You're going to focus on this part. You're going to focus on this because each of us did certain pieces of the analysis. So we did it all together, and we come together for a great recommendation and then a great discussion because we did our work, but we focused in using our talents. So you can accomplish a lot just by having people all thrown in at an effort. But is it good? Is it to where you need to be? Is it the fact that you're living into your purpose, and by being able to contribute your piece and everybody contributing their pieces, you're able to get to a bigger piece, a bigger result, a bigger element in your life. If you look at your family, don't you have them split down into, well, you take care of this, you take care of that. You go take care of the lawn, or you take care of the dishes or the food. And, what are the things that you are pulling together as a group? And can you go further and faster? Yes. But are you getting better each day? So the continued growing. And Simon continues in his book that the companies he worked with, which continue to add up on his lists of everybody that wants him to come in and talk to their company about their why, about their purpose, about their cause. People at the top often don't care about the soft stuff, this purpose, this cause. They just believe, that they're there to continue to ratchet up the income and, serve the people that are going to get the income. But there's people within the group, and you may be one of those in the subgroups, that have this passion for, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I working together with these people? And sometimes, we talk about it. I talked about this a couple days ago with the nested why. Your purpose, it's good for you to have your purpose. So why you go to work, why you do the things you do during the day, why do you do them? Is this resonating with you? Is this the purpose? So as one would expect, these groups have the highest morale because they're focused, they're productive together, because they have an idea of identity within the larger thing, within the larger group. So are you focused in? Is your team focused in? So if you're not innovating and you're not productive and you don't have the best retention rates, and you're not highest performing in the company, it's because you're not together centered on why you're there. You're just there for this event each day, this event called work, but you're not getting anything out of it. You're not going further. Now, you may be tied into your organization why, and you see the purpose and you're fulfilling, and the company is producing. Obviously, if they're not producing, they're not going to be in business for long, but they're going and doing it at a level that's not at their apex. They could be so much more. They could make a bigger difference in the community. I talked with a couple, believe it, plumbers or electricians, right? And you think, oh my gosh, there's tons of needs. People need, to have wires rerouted to rebuild houses or commercial, there's always commercial work coming up, right? And I listen to the entrepreneurs, and they say, I'm full. I can't take any more business. They're only in a networking group just to show up and put their name out there, and maybe they'll get some additional business, but they're really not in the business. They're not looking for business. They're just there to maintain what they have. Well, that's great, but they're not thinking into, if I bring another person on, well, I don't like working with other people. I have to have my hands on doing everything. Well, that's great, but two people together can make the work go faster, and you can get it done to get on to the next task or get to the next project to make more money or to have a better fulfillment that, hey, I was able to do 2 restaurants at the same time instead of one taking a month that I'm there. So I have 12 projects for the year, and that's it. I could do 24 projects, maybe. I could do 2 things at the same time. The productivity goes up. The attention to detail is still there. But I'm able to bring somebody on that believes in what we do and how we're making a difference and bringing up business and helping them to move forward and add more to the community. And by the way, I'm going to go visit that restaurant, or I'm going to go visit that office building. Maybe I'm going to go to, the community's putting up a new library, and you have the opportunity to rewire or wire up that building, or you have the ability to do, put in lighting, whatever. But you take some pride in it, and you say, hey, I was able to make a difference. This community is, improved because here's my touch, because people get away. It's not the electricity, it's the fact that they were able to get in the building and enjoy the community, enjoy social time, make a difference in the community because they're getting together with other groups, because I was able to be part of establishing that framework. But if you do this in a vacuum, so here's the warning. If you do go and create a team purpose, it needs to still tie into the organization purpose. So there's a purpose for the organization. The leadership at the top of the organization, I have found, doesn't care about the purpose. They don't care about the cause, though they're trying to say, everybody, you should be fulfilling the purpose. They just think that by going through the daily routines, you'll fulfill the purpose. And people tie into that purpose and say, well, what are you? Are you really tied into that purpose? Are you tied in to something that is greater than yourself, that makes a difference in the world, other than I punch a clock? So as we sit here with our coffee, I already drank mine. I was waiting for you to come in. But what is it that we do? Why are we doing what we're doing? So for me as a coach, for me in Crayon Leadership, to make a difference in people's lives, I have to do things. Yes, I have to do things every day. I have to write. I have to connect. I have to put content together, much like these Facebook Lives, but structured. And these are my free form times. These are my opportunity just to connect with you and say what's top of mind. Here's my latest thinking. Tell me, what you think of it. Tell me, how would you apply it? Does it apply? Are you finding it in your time, in your space? Do you see these lessons coming through? And if you do, then what's your role in it? Simon goes on to say, if a larger organization really lost its ways, is operating without that clear sense of why, and the senior leadership has no intention going through a why discovery, though a member of a team wish they had. We can still inspire people. You can still inspire people. You can go and, as he says, the tail wags the dog. You can go and make that music happen within your team. You can bring that ensemble together, that quartet, that symphony of people working together for a purpose, that are excited for being there, that are not there just to say, oh, hi, Fred, what do you think of the Packers game? You can talk about something that says, hey, we're working together on this. This is exciting. This is why we're here. This is the things we can see. Look, you remember what happened last week with that project we turned out? That was exciting. We really worked well together. And you get excited about the buzz, and that spills over. That creates the ripple effect to the rest of the organization. Why is that team working so well together? Why are they producing well? Because they got their focus on their purpose, on their cause, on doing things together. So as we close out this week, work week, we don't ever close out in Crayon Leadership because there's so much in leadership that we can talk about. Lisa, thank you for those great notes. So she was tainted by river dance. Yeah, so many pieces acting with precision. So many things where, it's not like they're looking at each other's feet or it's the step. They've got this step memorized, but it's the intensity in which they deliver it that's the purpose. That's what comes through. Anybody can do the steps if they're trained. But the minute you put intentionality, you put purpose into it, you give it that extra oomph within you, that extra reserve of energy, it comes through and plays through. Do you play through? Or do you sit and watch? I know you struggle with it sometimes. I do too. But I bet you can create a team beat. You can tap to the team beat. You can make that team beat go higher and higher, faster and faster, creating this ripple effect to the rest of the organization. So if the leadership doesn't have the care about purpose and cause, you can do it. You can make a difference in your workplace. You can make a difference in your community. You can make a difference in your world. So when within each person, if they figure out their why and how it fits into the group, greater success is attained. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about today. Be humble, not meek, but be humble to know that everybody working together makes a difference. One person can't do it alone. It's been said, and I agree. So work into your greatest potential today. Be well. Take care. I will be back this weekend because I have some other ideas that I want to share with you and get your feedback, get your thoughts. So be well. For today, remember to work at your apex, because if you're not giving it your all, you're just phoning it in, and maybe you need some more of this stuff. Maybe you need some more. Go on, you can do it. Sometimes I don't look straight at this camera because it's not that I'm looking somewhere else. I don't have enough of this. Give me the energy. Come on, fill my cup. Give me some comments. Give me some love. Keep doing the things that you're doing, because you do make a difference when you put your full self into it. Be well today. Take care. See you soon.